Captain Cooper's creaky old ship arrived at the edge of the enchanted woodland in the dead of night so as not to disturb a living thing. The magical forest was peaceful and asleep. The 300-year-old captain and his psychic horse and the octopus were the only two souls on board.
This woodland seems like the perfect place to hide my gold horse.
He scooped up his treasure chest of precious gold and held on tightly to his medal of life as they jumped overboard onto the dry land of the forest. Cooper's medal of life had magical powers. It gave him immortality. He wore it on a chain around his neck all the time. Cooper and Orson made their way through the enchanted woodland and climbed to the highest point they could find. Little did they know it was actually a sleeping volcano. Finding a flat spot, Cooper took out his shovel and began to dig. Suddenly the ground began to shake and Orson looked worried. Without any warning, there was an almighty explosion as the volcano erupted from her deep sleep. The blast blew Cooper and Orson clean off the hillside into Dewdrop Pond where the Finleys live. Cooper's medal of life was shattered into 4 pieces. It was scattered to the 4 corners of the pond as Cooper sank to the deepest part. The heavy chest of gold landed on top of the old sea captain, and without his magic medal, he was no more. His gold magically disappeared. It felt like the start of a perfectly normal day at Dewdrop Pond. Kalula and Blade were the first up and already playing bubble ball outside. Fernando was busy in the kitchen making breakfast, while Fezzle and Bullwinkle were tidying the yard.
I can't hear Shimmerina singing this morning.
That's right, I haven't seen her at all this morning. Breakfast is ready! Where is Shimmerina? No one has seen her this morning.
I hope she's alright. Perhaps you should go look for her.
Good idea.
They all swam off in different directions to search the entire pond.
Shimmerina, where are you?
The Finleys looked everywhere, but she was nowhere to be found. Brave Bullwinkle approached the gloomy entrance to Smuggler's Cave, and he could see a golden shimmering glow in the darkness. He turned on his light and slowly swam inside.
There you are. What are you doing in here?
A look of horror fell across Bullwinkle's face as he got closer. The glow he had seen was not Shimmerina, it was the bright shiny clasp of an empty treasure chest. With a loud bang, the chest suddenly slammed shut and Orson crept on top of it.
Oh me! Oh my! The legend is true! You're Cooper's mate!
That's right, your friend's been captured by the ghost of Cooper. You must take this chest to your friends and solve the puzzles within. It is the only way to bring my master back and for you to see your friend again. I will wait here until sunset.
Bullwinkle scooped up the heavy chest and swam as quickly as he could back to the house. The rest of the Finleys were gathered outside the house when Bullwinkle returned.
Listen up, lads. I've just met Captain Cooper's mate and he's given me this chest. Shimmerina has been captured and we need to work together to set her free.
The fish slowly opened the chest and found a glittering crystal ball, 5 sealed scrolls and an old parchment inside.
Let me read it. Look into my crystal and you will see. Shimmerina is my prisoner. To set her free, you must find the 4 pieces of my destroyed medal and hunt for the ingredients to make the magic potion to restore it. If you do this before sunset, I will be released from this watery curse, and my chest will be refilled with gold. If that happens, I'll set her free. But if you fail, well, I'm sure you can guess. I have written 5 tasks for you to do. Pick one that suits, or there'll be trouble. Regards, Captain Cooper.
The nervous fish focused on the crystal ball, which showed an image of Shimmerina trapped in a cage and asleep in a deep trance.
We must act fast.
Bullwinkle took the 5 scrolls and placed them on the floor. They were marked speed, strength, sense, skill, and wisdom. 4 of the fish quickly picked up a scroll, leaving clever old Fezzle with the one marked wisdom. He opened his scroll, which read,
Wisdom. As group leader, you must think. Use your cunning to obtain some ink. Get fresh octopus ink. Head north, head south. Aim east and west. You must find the 4 pieces of the medal. I'll wait here at base camp and think about what I need to do. Don't forget to pick up the ingredients for the magic potion on your travels. We have until sunset. Go, my friends, and good luck.
Kalula looked at his scroll, which read,
Skill, swim with skill and dodge the bubbles. Reach the other side for your troubles. Bring back a tiny shiny bubble.
That must be Bubble Alley on the north side of the pond, he thought to himself, and quickly swam there. Kalula had never been allowed to play in this part of the pond before because it was so unsafe. He knew if he got caught in one of the bubbles, it could carry him dangerously close to the surface. The narrow alley was a moving maze of fast-flowing bubbles, all eagerly heading upwards.
This will be just like playing bubble ball with Blade.
He took a deep gulp of water and darted across the fast-moving tide of bubbles. He weaved and dodged like never before, skipping round the larger bubbles and ducking under the faster ones. With a final push, he made it through to the safe ledge at the far side.
It's here! Burn over there, bubble! Back I go!
And with that, Kalula repeated his brave moves to swiftly swim back through the bubble maze and whizzed home where Fezzle was waiting. Blade had zipped to the far south side of the pond because his scroll had read,
Speed, beat the rolling rock with all your speed. Dart through the gap to do this deed. Bring back a golden leaf.
The entrance to the cove was blocked by a huge rolling boulder which rocked from side to side at great speed. He watched for a few moments to pick up the rhythm and realised there was a split-second opportunity to swim through the tiny gap each time the boulder rolled past. On the count of 3, he shot through the tiny gap, narrowly missing being crushed by the giant boulder. To his great relief, he found part of Cooper's medal lying buried in the sand. He picked it up and bolted past through the boulder once again in exactly the same lightning speed.
Better not forget a golden leaf.
He shot to the surface, grabbed a floating leaf, and raced back to the house. Bullwinkle made the short swim to the east side of the pond and was worriedly gazing into the opening of the forbidden dark zone. His task read,
Strength. Fear not the dark and boldly go. Move the cube rock and don't be slow. Bring back a rock of amber. I have to do this for Shimmerina. Be brave, old guy.
He puffed out his cheeks and turned on his light as he slowly moved into the spooky deep pit. He tried not to look at the razor-sharp rocks as he used his light to guide the way. He loudly whistled a happy tune to drown out the spooky sounds of the mysterious pit. Suddenly he spotted the gigantic cube-shaped rock in the distance. It was huge and it looked so heavy. Without thinking about it, Bullwinkle swam up to the cube and started to push it with all his strength. He pushed and he pushed, but it wouldn't move. With a big screech, he gave it one last push and gave it everything he'd got.
I'm doing it! Now let me get out of here.
Bullwinkle picked up the piece of the medal and swam out of the pit with great care. He went in search of an amber rock on his way back to the house to join the others. Fernando made the tricky swim to the west side, where most of the fish food grows.
Senses, smell and sniff for the right type. Bring home a berry that is most ripe. Bring back a ripe jiggleberry.
Jiggleberries were very rare and extremely hard to find. Only an expert at cooking can tell you when they're truly ripe. Fernando charged round the crop field looking for his prize. He sniffed at everything, squeezing, even licking the odd one to test for ripeness. Suddenly he caught the unmistakable whiff of the ripest jiggleberry. He closed his eyes and trusted his nose as he followed the scent.
It's here!
He opened his eyes to see the juiciest jiggleberry ever. He carefully picked it up, and he noticed that part of Cooper's medal was underneath it.
Bubble bonus! It was hiding part of the medal too!
He picked up his valuable cargo and carefully swam back to base. All the fish were now back at the base, but the last element of the potion was still missing. They needed some ink from an octopus. Fezzle was going to have to use his wisest move on Orson if he was going to succeed.
I have a clever idea. Come on, follow me.
The 5 fish gathered together all the pieces of the Medal of Life, and with the potion bottle and all the ingredients they had collected, swam off to Smuggler's Cave where Orson was waiting rather menacingly.
I'll make you a deal, Orson. If you get the answer right to my little riddle, you can keep your precious ink. But if you get it wrong, you'll give us just what we need.
It's a deal.
If a funny fish met a funny fish from another funny fish pond, and were to answering that,
That's easy. Each time I heard letter F, I started to wobble one of my tentacles. All 8 are wobbling now, so the answer is 8.
Wrong.
Yes, you have the letter S are there in that. T-H-A-T. So the answer is none.
You tricked me.
Fezzle quickly captured the final ingredient in the potion bottle, gave it a shake, and gently poured one small drop onto the pieces of the Medal of Life, with just a few seconds to spare before the sun finally disappeared for the day, casting darkness across the whole pond. Through the dim light, all the fish looked on in amazement as the pieces started to magically move and come together. The entire pond began to bubble, and the water spectacularly rippled with all the colours of the rainbow. With a blinding flash, the Medal of Life was fully restored, as the ground began to rumble and shake. Suddenly, Captain Cooper soared up from the ground with a mighty pirate roar, snatching his prize medal and throwing it around his neck. His treasure chest was once again full of gold.
Oh, my aching bones. You actually did it. You beat my challenge and brought me back from my watery grave. I feel alive again, and I'm going to stay that way. I declare from here on in, I will be the best generous and friendly pirate on all the 7 seas. Come on, Orson, back to the ship.
What are Shimmerina?
Go and all be revealed.
Old Cooper swam to the surface and left the enchanted woods forever, never to be seen again. Blade, Bullwinkle, Fezzle, Fernando and Kalula raced back to the house.
Shimmerina! Shimmerina!
Shimmerina! Are you okay?
Where am I?
Home!
I've just had the strangest dream.
That was no dream. We've quite a story to tell you.
hey, you guys, I think you should come in here.
As all the fish entered the kitchen, they were blinded by a golden glow. As a reward, Captain Cooper had left them 1 gold coin each, with a note that simply read, "Thank you."
We're rich!
That night, the Finleys had the biggest party ever seen at Dewdrop Pond. Shimmerina sang her favourite songs while all the other fish danced long into the night. They ate special festive food and drank their favourite shindig juice. Much more important than their gold coins, they had learnt that by working together as a team, they could achieve great things, break an evil curse, and even free their friend. And that was the biggest reward of all.